Now, when we're using multi-ad group testing, there's a lot of insights we can pull from users. So this is often when we start to think, why are we testing? Are we testing because we want to increase how often people click on our ads and convert? Are we testing just how often they click on our ads? And of course, users all interact differently. So we might start thinking about, all right, what happens if we use a benefit in headline one versus a call to action, right? We might think, what if we use a price point in our ad versus an authority statement? What if we have a countdown versus non-countdown, or dynamic keyword insertion versus not dynamic keyword insertion? So often what we're really thinking about is, what kind of hypothesis do we want to run? Now, if you're trying to think about intersections and things, you can very easily look at your ad test heat map to see intersections of data to get some ideas. You can click on the folder icons to start to see some of your top ones, top ideas. And then we're probably going to use more wildcards and include, don't include for our patterns. So let's say we're a national local company with a lot of individual locations, and maybe we're a big plumbing company. So you might have an ad that's find plumbers in, and then it can match to a lot of geography versus just call local plumbers. And so here, we're saving our asterisk, our wild card, to match to all the locations, and basically testing, should we put the location in the ad versus just a more call to action? If we want to see what happens if we don't have a price point in an ad versus we have a dollar sign in an ad, then we could do a test does not include dollar sign versus includes a dollar sign. We could do the same for a discount rate. If you're thinking about, okay, should we have our calls to action be call versus find versus shop, right? We can just see which calls to action, regardless of the rest of the line, are doing better and worse. And so when we start to think about our high level, why do people take action? Is it because of a price? Is it because we're a big authority and we've served 10,000 customers? Is it because we have the best customer support around? Right? And often we start with a more philosophical approach of headline one is related to the ad group. Headline two is often a call to action or a benefit statement. Then headline three is often supporting headline two, being an authority statement. If this does not include a call to action headline two, a call to action in your headline three, a user benefit, so forth. And these are usually the best three places to start testing because they're much more visible than your description lines. You could test pathways though if you're testing different page templates. Maybe you've got 4 different templates that you're testing just to try to figure out what website you want. Right? Then we could again look to see, all right, we have this page versus we have a different page that we are testing. And again, we could also use wildcards in these. Maybe this one's a bunch of geography, so forth. So we can test any parts of the ads we want to. So it's often useful just to think initially, what should we be using in our ad tests? Are we looking for different shipping methods? What happens if we use rush shipping versus free shipping? What happens if we use a hard CTA such as shop versus a soft one such as learn? Right? And these are the types of things we want to think about initially for our ad testing. See how these are doing and see how this high level works. Then we can start to refine our tests to specific campaigns and then set up our tests in our daily results. We say this is what we want to find and want to learn. Now, if we start setting this up and realize, oh, this is in 6 ad groups, that's in 4 ad groups, then we can look to see where this is. Then we could go and use things like our ad group multi-ad tool where we filter down ad text does not contain. this information, and then we could also filter down with the campaigns and ad groups, etc. Select those ads, go to create multiples, where we can inherit that data from other ad groups and just create ads with this line to test, where we'll go find your highest conversion rate ad in current ad group, create that line, so that'll make more even tests when we set up our multi-ad group tests to learn more about consumers. So initially, when you have some thoughts, you're just trying to figure out some initial data, how people react, run a bunch of tests, use run tests. This is on-demand data. It does get deleted nightly. So if you want to save some results, you can archive it or download the data. Then determine what you want to test. Use the ad group ad creation screen, or even the ads ad creation screen, to make sure you have more or less even numbers. Set up those tests, and that way, when you have this information and you can really learn, you'll find this on the dashboard that you have a good multi-ad group test that's been well researched, set up, experimented, and then you can do these ad tests, these larger scale ad tests, to see the high level information of how people take action. Pause the losers, look at your top ad groups, and move to single ad group testing in your top ad groups. Now with multi-ad group tests, you're getting consumer insights. We may be testing 1,000 ads across 10 campaigns or 1,000,000 ads. This data is commonly used to find your best call to action for emails, for the button in an email. We see companies use this to create title tags for their organic efforts. We'll see it for subject lines for emails. If you're trying to see what kind of social ads you should run, or how you may want to label different blog posts and social media you're doing. So it's not just on the ad side. You can experiment a lot with how consumers are interacting with the ads that you can use in other places in your marketing as well. So when you want to find data insights, test templated ads, find the best call to action or benefit, aggregate data together for low volume accounts. Allow large accounts to easily test 1,000,000 versus 1,000,000 ads. Right? That's where multi-ad group testing is really, really useful. So you can get your data aggregated, play with your information to see how consumers interact, what's the difference, set up your tests, and then learn about consumers when you finally have statistical significance in those ad tests. And this should let you learn a lot about your consumers, your marketing, what you do well, and other places you want to test, and learn more about consumer interaction in your data.